Tonight on Grady Newsource, an ICE detention center is coming to Northeast Georgia. Our reporters talked to the city manager in Social Circle and will tell you more.
Coming up, is your drinking water safe? Volunteers from our local counties are coming together to test the water. More on this later in the show.
Also tonight, we highlight local legends Mike McDonald and Maria Taylor, who shared the stage at the Super Bowl trophy ceremony. All this and more tonight on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication, this is Grady Newsource.
To Grady Newsource, your source for news in Northeast Georgia. I'm Anna Skull.
And I'm Victoria Garcia.
Athens-Clarke County leaders are one step closer to tightening regulations on data centers.
After hours of debate, the Planning Commission approved a proposed amendment. Reporter Parker McCollum has more.
That level that is hitting those concerns.
Stakes were high and the chips were down as Athens-Clarke County's Planning Commission meeting entered its 6th hour. Residents stayed until the bitter end, voicing their concerns.
Currently, we have 98 data centers already in Georgia that use 67 million gallons of water a day and enough energy to power 3 million homes. So regulating these is very important to me.
The commissioners agreed.
I think we should see every single data center.
It was a unanimous vote. The amendment includes strong regulations requiring closed-loop systems to stop data centers from wasting water and to keep local bills low. Limits on energy use. Any data center above 5 megawatts must generate additional power on site through renewables. But how much energy is a megawatt? For context, Georgia Power says that 1 megawatt is enough to power 450 homes. So a 3 megawatt data center uses enough electricity to power upwards of 1,300 homes. So if each poker chip was to represent 3.5 houses, then this is the amount of electricity that one 3 megawatt data center would consume. It's no wonder that electrical companies are all in on data centers. Importantly, data centers will be permitted only in industrial zoning and will have to report annually to ensure compliance and transparency.
So to now have a process that is going to be more transparent, I really appreciated that more than most things.
That transparency, officials say, was shaped by the long night of public feedback and debate.
I think tonight was trying to pull all those things apart and then create something that can be forwarded to the county commission for consideration and hopefully adoption. And I think the input from the Planning Commission tonight was really good. I think it was constructive.
Next Tuesday, the county commission will decide whether they will vote on the amendment at their March 3rd meeting or table it for later. For Grady Newsource, I'm Parker McCollum.
Do you ever feel like you're being watched, Victoria?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Well, you are. With Athens increasing the number of cameras around town, Athens-Clarke County Police are now using facial recognition as part of criminal investigations. But some residents worry the technology could come at the cost of personal privacy.
Jack Cooney explains how the new real-time crime center is sparking debate over safety versus surveillance.
This is the view from one of 1,300 surveillance cameras in Athens-Clarke County. Facial recognition is being used by police, but what does that mean for your privacy? Becca Golden lives downtown and has some concerns.
From what we've seen with the use of AI and increased technological innovations in the U.S., we don't really know how they're going to be using this information, especially if it's to have facial recognition technologies. That causes a lot more concern, especially like for me and people I know.
And she's not alone. There's a growing debate as police expand surveillance through the Real-Time Crime Center, a new division of the Athens-Clarke County Police Department. These cameras capture license plates and use facial recognition tools to help officers respond to calls faster.
Some downtown residents say that the Real-Time Crime Center feels intrusive. However, law enforcement officials say the technology was designed with limits and public safety in mind.
The center says the technology is heavily supervised and only used as a lead.
So we have very strict policies that say that our officers, you cannot make any sort of police action based off of a lead from facial recognition.
The crime center officially opened last month and has assisted more than 850 cases since May.
The technology itself is not bad, it's the usage of it. And so that's why we really want to be sure that when we use technology here, we use it in a very safe and appropriate manner.
A Government Accountability Office report found that several federal agencies use facial recognition, yet only a fraction require formal training. The Pew Research Center shows a clear generational divide with this technology. Younger adults are more likely to oppose police use of facial recognition, while older Americans tend to support it.
It's a good preventative measure, but I can understand if, for privacy concerns, why that can be an issue, yeah.
As technology becomes a larger part of policing, Athens is trying to balance public safety with public trust. For Grady Newsource, I'm Jack Cooney.
Thank you, Jack. An ICE detention center is coming to Northeast Georgia in the small town of Social Circle. Gabrielle Cutsup is live in the newsroom with more updates on the Social Circle location.
Thanks, Victoria. Yes, the city manager confirmed with us yesterday that ICE now owns the warehouse, and that will become an ICE detention center. But where is Social Circle? It's about 36 miles from Athens, and this warehouse that will become the detention center is right here on East High Tower Trail, right next to another warehouse. And it's only about a mile from an elementary school in the town and 2 miles from City Hall, which is where downtown Social Circle is. And this came as a shock to residents and the city manager. This building will be a new ICE detention center. The warehouse was previously owned by an investor and developer, according to Q Public data. The property is zoned light industrial.
Our zoning code currently does not allow for any type of a detention facility anywhere in our city.
But city manager Eric Taylor said that didn't stop the federal government from turning it into a detention center. The city will also lose money because the federal government doesn't have to pay taxes on the building.
We were projected to be able to collect about $1 million a year in taxes on that site.
The 2024-2025 adopted budget for the city's general fund was about $8 million, with about 61% coming from tax revenue. Georgia Representative Mike Collins said that although he agrees with ICE's mission, he also understands that Social Circle does not have the significant resources this facility would require. Even so, Taylor's priority has remained the same.
Well, my number one goal is to still keep it from happening.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Gabrielle Cutsup.
With immigration enforcement at the forefront of the national conversation, what are legislators doing about it? Our State House reporter Alex Arwood is live from Atlanta.
Of legislation, specifically House Bill 1050. This bill would limit the access that ICE agents have to the documentation status of K through 12th grade students.
One of House Bill 1050's sponsors is Athens Oconee's Representative Eric Gisler. He says that people are upset by the country's immigration enforcement.
And this bill would simply just keep them out of schools, right? And it would prevent schools from sharing information.
Like many Americans, Athens residents are making their voices heard regarding several issues surrounding immigration. Protesters took issue with legislation like House Bill 1050 and the recent addition of an ICE detention center in Social Circle.
Right now in Georgia, there are 2 new warehouses that are going to be retrofitted to cage immigrants, one in Social Circle.
Protesters gathered in front of City Hall with several groups such as the Athens Immigrants' Rights Coalition in attendance.
We really are just trying to get as much movement and as much noise around this as possible to stop this from happening.
We'll be following the path of House Bill 1050 along with other immigration legislation this session. For Grady Newsource, I'm Alex Arwood. Back to you, Victoria and Anna.
Thanks, Alex. Coming up, UGA football players are keeping literacy fun. We'll be right back.
Okay.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
A former Georgia football star is bringing a big game atmosphere to World Read Aloud Day. Malcolm still filling stands years after his retirement, but maybe not in the way you think. The Super Bowl winning receiver read to a packed Oglethorpe County Elementary School gym this week as a part of his Share the Magic Foundation for Literacy. Mitchell handed out copies of my very own favorite book in the whole wide world for the children to read along with him. Mitchell had trouble reading at a young age and wants to show kids how fun reading can be. To read the full story, go to the oglethorpeecho.com.
And while physical books may not be going away anytime soon, that doesn't mean schools are ignoring new technology. Reporter Sonia Sakavage tells us more about UGA's $800,000 investment into AI tools.
Last week, in his State of the University address, UGA's president, Jerry Moorhead, announced the school would be investing $800,000 into AI tools for students, faculty, and staff, including providing subscriptions to platforms such as ChatGPT EDU and Gemini Pro. Students like Amanda Robinson continue to find AI to be a useful learning tool. She has already applied for some of the university AI resources and believes the investment is equipping students for the workforce.
UGA has a great record of giving its students lots of different resources, and I think AI is just the next step.
The idea that UGA students need to get ahead of the AI curve before they fall behind in a continuously developing workforce did not appear out of thin air. The Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta reported a steep increase in the amount of job postings requiring applicants to have AI skills. And while UGA is funding this initiative, the University Student Government Association was a driving force behind this mission.
We don't want to outsource critical thinking. We want to use it to engage with materials on a deeper level.
And as we're all learning how to use these tools, they're learning too, often with user-driven interactions that generate privacy concerns.
And UGA did take privacy into account. Digital fences that help protect students' and faculty's data are in place.
When they're using a tool here at UGA under their EDU account, anything that they put into the input box on these tools is not incorporated into the corpus of the training data for the tool. So it's a great opportunity to exist in a safer space as you try these tools out.
So next time you use ChatGPT on campus, you don't have to turn your laptop's brightness down. UGA wants its students to learn how to dominate their industries alongside AI, not in fear of it.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Sonia Sakavage.
Coming up, find out how Madison County is helping fight the opioid crisis.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back. With the recent oil spill in the Flint River near Atlanta, water quality concerns are top of mind here in Georgia. One local nonprofit is working to monitor and protect local waterways through routine water sampling.
Do you know what you're drinking and where it came from? How do you know it's safe?
I'm here at Sandy Creek Nature Center, where we just finished following along the quarterly water sampling analysis event hosted by the Upper Coney Watershed Network, also known as UOWN.
UOWN, an all-volunteer group, tests water in 100 creeks and streams throughout northeast Georgia to flag for potential hazards.
So E. coli is, of course, a big public health concern. Occasionally after big rainstorms, you'll see, maybe a lake might have a little sign out or even be closed to swimming, like literally because there's problems with E. coli colonies growing quickly in the water.
6 sites in the Athens area showed dangerous levels of E. coli, according to the UOWN Fall 2025 quarterly report. Another hazard was stopped in its tracks when a poultry facility was proposed. Concerns about impacts on local waterways stopped the build in nearby Franklin County after pushback from the community. These local concerns inspired over a dozen volunteers to show up.
I was interested to see what our water systems look like. We had teams and a system, and we got to go out and explore the environment.
Volunteers across counties are coming together over one shared goal: protecting their water.
Our rivers and streams don't care about county lines, right? They're all connected, they're all flowing together.
To learn more about volunteering, check out uown.org. For Grady Newsource, this is Shay Brown.
The Little Clinic health centers are shutting down across Georgia, removing a healthcare option many customers relied on for quick, affordable care. Grady Newsource reporter Hunter Jones has more.
Thanks, Anna. Kroger confirmed it will close all 18 Little Clinic locations by early April. The Little Clinic provides walk-in visits for minor illnesses, physicals, and vaccinations at a lower cost than urgent care centers. Kroger's decision reflects a broader shift in retail healthcare as companies across the country are reassessing in-store clinics due to rising operational costs, staffing shortages, and questions about long-term profitability. As Georgia communities adjust, the shutdown of the Little Clinic centers raises broader questions about access to affordable care and what happens when convenient healthcare options disappear.
$1.3 billion from opioid settlements kickstarted new treatment initiatives for recovering addicts across the state.
Grady Newsource reporter Jack Little heads to Madison County to tell us more.
Madison County unveiled its new Reach Mobile Treatment Clinic this week to battle the opioid crisis.
This RV is saving lives. As rural hospitals are closing, this mobile clinic provides a lifeline straight to your front door. Services include mental health resources, overdose prevention, and peer support.
And Madison County is one of those areas that does have an issue, just like other places in the state, but there's not really a service in Madison County like this until now.
Opioid deaths dropped more than 50% in 2023 with the support of external resources. The $780,000 investment into the mobile clinic could provide a similar impact.
I'm a person in long-term recovery. I have 5 years sober, no alcohol, no drugs.
Brandon Dooley has utilized his experiences from his own recovery to help others in their journey.
You know, because usually when you're in recovery, like, the answer's in there. Like, you know what you need to do, but, like, you just kind of need to pull it out. So I try to help people get to that point of change where they're ready to start making changes.
Dooley believes that this RV can be a game changer.
So a lot of barriers to recovery is distance. Like, thank God for Athens, there's things everywhere. There's something everywhere. But when it comes to places like Madison County, just rural Georgia in general, we'll actually be able to go out to them and build relationships.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Jack Little.
Thanks, Jack. Up next, find out how healthcare CEO is entering the race for Georgia's next governor.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Rick Jackson, the billionaire CEO of Jackson Healthcare, is officially entering Georgia's 2026 race for governor, and he's bringing some serious money with him.
Jackson says he's running as a political outsider, but with more than $50 million of his own money, his announcement is sparking debate about who can compete in statewide elections. Grady Newsource reporter Amelia Durden has more.
We don't see sort of billionaires running for office all the time, but it's not the first time it's happened.
Rick Jackson, the billionaire CEO of Jackson Healthcare, has entered the 2026 Georgia gubernatorial race, immediately renewing debate over money, access, and power in state politics. Jackson announced his candidacy on February 3rd at his company's headquarters in Alpharetta, positioning himself as a political outsider challenging Atlanta insiders. However, Jackson's entry has raised a broader question. Has running for governor become something only the wealthy can realistically afford? That question ties back to federal campaign finance reforms like the McCain-Feingold Act, which aim to limit the influence of large donations and curb so-called soft money in elections. While the law placed restrictions on party fundraising, it did not limit how much candidates can spend on their own campaigns, opening the door for wealthy individuals to self-fund at unprecedented levels.
You know, there may be other people out there who maybe have great ideas, great like platforms to stand on, but they don't have the finances to.
To unpack what that means in today's political landscape, we spoke with the University of Georgia political science professor who said that these rules have unintentionally shifted power to candidates with personal wealth.
I think one thing that's very clear is that having sort of access to resources does make it easy to run for office. Running for office is expensive. And even if it's not me kind of writing my own check, right? It's that having access to wealth taps you into networks and it taps you into connections with donors to raise money.
Self-funded candidates can also dominate advertising early, control messaging, and discourage challengers long before voters engage with policy differences. For some voters, that reality raises concerns about fairness and representation.
I think it might be a little unfair because someone might have really great ideas and they can't support their campaign, as well as another candidate who doesn't have as great ideas.
We'll continue following as voters and experts respond to how Georgia's gubernatorial race takes shape. With Grady Newsource, I'm Amelia Durden.
Homelessness is on the rise. In Athens, shelters are looking to address this issue. Megan Bosman has more.
I'm not here by choice. I'm here by have to right now. And that makes me humble, just like everybody else here.
According to the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, homelessness increased by 13% in Georgia from 2022 to 2024. To keep up with these growing numbers, Athens Area Homeless Shelter is moving to one building to better allocate their resources.
The cost of living is getting higher, and the more amount of people are getting homeless. So the more amount of help that we can get helps everything.
Bigger Vision of Athens is another organization looking to further expand its reach in the community. Through the expansion, Executive Director Chris Garcia hopes to address an issue she faced while unhoused.
Better units, separate units for men and women, because currently we have communal space sleeping. So just so the women can feel safer.
Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Megan Bosman.
After the break, 2 UGA alums share the stage at the Super Bowl.
Scoring, going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back. This Sunday at Super Bowl 60, UGA alum Mike McDonald, now the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, led his team to the win. McDonald grew up in Roswell, Georgia, and at age 38, piloted his team to football glory. Presenting the Lombardi Trophy was another UGA graduate, Maria Taylor, the first Black woman to have such an honor. From a local coach to a local restaurant, running a small business in a college town isn't easy.
Grady Newsource reporter Lindsay Mutzman shows us how one owner is turning to community and social media to keep her Athens business going.
Tucked away off of Prince Ave is a small restaurant trying to find its way in a city that's known for its rich food culture. Punta Cana Latin Grill offers a slice of paradise in the South. Business slowed after the pandemic, but you can hear the pace picking up.
I was running, and I haven't been running in months. The doors did not stop opening and closing.
How did this happen? A simple TikTok with 40,000 views and counting put them on the map. Getting new customers in the door can be hard.
People just stay true to the spaces. They're not willing to venture out.
Even with the new attention, balancing food costs, staffing, and long hours can be stressful while keeping the business running.
I don't pay myself. I'm a free employee of the business. I just wanted to ensure that I pay my staff.
With a staff of 6, including Pascual, she works to prioritize them and still market the business.
I'm doing the TikTok, I'm doing the Instagram. We are on Athens Update. I'm trying to do as much as I can to be able to stay busy every day.
And for many, supporting Punta Cana is more than just a meal.
Definitely make a difference, to do that. And especially, there's a Dominican restaurant for me is something.
Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Lindsay Mutzman.
Thanks, Lindsay. This Saturday on Valentine's Day at the Classic Center, extra special people is spreading the love. The Big Hearts Gala is a night of storytelling and celebration, honoring individuals with disabilities and their families ESP serves. If you'd like to be a part of the big celebration, visit espbighearts.com. That's all for tonight. Follow us on our socials at Grady Newsource. I'm Anna Skull.
And I'm Victoria Garcia. Good night.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
All right. Check, check. You guys can hear me. Okay, we are live in our post-show critique, and we have some very special guests with us. Can you introduce us since we are live, and you can tell us who you are? You can share a microphone if you'd like. And then we're going to get some very special show notes, but you all know this was your first show, your first live show. You did really well, so give yourselves a hand. And I'm going to turn it over to Stephen and Laura, who are going to introduce themselves and their roles, and then tell you, just give some notes and tell you a little bit about what they saw back there.
First of all, thanks for having us. And one more round of applause for your first live show. The two of us are going to try and keep this to 10 minutes because I got pizza coming for you. Right? First show celebration. My name's Stephen Adams. I'm a recruiter with Tegna. I started my career as a TV reporter. Who wants to be on air? Yeah, love that. Okay. Ended up in news management. Was most recently managing editor at the CBS station down in Tampa, Florida, where I still live. Any Floridians down here? No? Oh, sorry. Boo, I know it's a tough night. You got a basketball game. Wait, are you? Where's home? Oh, love that. Okay, cool. But I'm going to introduce Laura Lynch-Jones over here, who's got, yeah, I guess we could split. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Hi, I'm Laura Lynch-Jones. I'm the news director at WMAZ, which is our Tegna station in Macon. We're a CBS affiliate. My background is in anchoring and reporting, so I came up a little bit of different path than a lot of news directors, but I started right here in this room. I am a Grady grad. So proudly so that the control room has been updated and the newsroom updated in the past few years. But it's so great to see all of you. And I first want to say, working in news is all about teamwork. It is everything that we do. We have to collaborate, we have to communicate, and we have to cheer each other on, and y'all have got that down pat. And just I've been coming and doing this and working with classes for about a decade. I have never heard that before. So I don't know who's instigating it, but I think it's great that you guys are cheering each other on. So.
All right, let's rock through some notes real quick. Literally, that was my first note. I couldn't agree more. And Laura's being entirely sincere when she says that. We love that. The energy was electric. Speaking of electric, Parker's package was on electricity. Where's Parker at? How's it going? First of all, I know Laura and I both have the same note. Great stand-up with the poker chips. I am so used to going to campuses and seeing these like cheesy stand-ups from time to time. That was not. You walked that line perfectly. Like you added something of actual value. I had my head cocked at the start. I'm like, where's this gonna go? But you landed the plane perfectly. It was really, really clever and creative and taught us something. Only note for you was being careful on interview framing. Most of that was a little off, aside from Bruce, he kind of nailed. So more of them around how you had him framed up. Quick note for producers and anchors, try not to script the banter. I know this was first show, so we're nervous and we're trying to get it. It just comes across as disingenuous when we do too much. The one that caught my attention was the intro to Jack's package, which was like, do you ever feel like you're being watched? And so like it just gets stiff if we script that too much. Let's try and make that natural. Let's see, police surveillance package. Where's Jack at? Hi, how are you? I must have been thinking about pizza because I wrote food job instead of good job, but good job writing to video. This could be a note for everyone. Just be careful on overdoing the graphics. I love that we're experimenting. I think the first show is like the perfect place to do that. The poll graphics were pretty nice. I think the one before it that was kind of that black and blue one was like just a little too busy, the full screen. For your interviews, is your camera, what camera did you use? Is it like a bigger camera, or is it like your phone? How about for the interviews? Okay, when you're using the bigger camera, do you have it on manual or auto? All good. No worries. Sure, no worries. Just play around. So when you're interviewing the person on manual, zoom all the way in, do a focus on their hair. It's just a little bit out of focus, and then always bring a card or something for a white balance. Let's see. Social circle. That's Gabby. First of all, I loved it, and I loved the energy around you when you were doing your thing. My only thing, and maybe it's just me, was the stick mic in the newsroom. I don't know if that can be a lav going forward. I think it's just going to look a little more natural when we're inside. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so we evolved in real time. Love the troubleshooting. I think that's awesome. Let's see. I did think it was a good newsy package. Biggest thing I want to think about outside the mic thing was just incorporating more characters and some emotion. If we could just wrap that around a person. Alex, with the ice package, where you at? Oh, no. Oh, that's cool. All right, skipping that. Okay. Camera. Oh, I should know this as someone who did TV. All right, Alex, very good job with your on-camera presence. The package itself, I would love if you want to email me or Laura. Professor Duck can give out our contact info. I'd love to go line by line in that script with you just to help us follow it a little better. But listen, it's a big story. You bit off a large story, and you did a good job. Let's see. Good transition, producers, from the Oglethorpe Echo into the Share the Magic. I understand the irony of this, Sonia, because it's your package. But I loved how we transitioned from Oglethorpe Echo Tease into your story. I thought that was seamless. For your story, speaking of which, good characters, I did want a little more force in your voice. So what we'll work on this summer at your internship is sitting there with balancing that between being conversational but also being authoritative, right? So that's just something that comes with the reps. Where's Shay on water quality? I had the same exact note. I thought your story was super, super newsworthy, and I just want to pump up the voice. So as you go through this semester, just think of how can that come from the diaphragm? How can that sound as authoritative as possible while still keeping that great conversational style that you did really, really well? Oh, my phone thinks it's dark. Okay, Hunter, healthcare reader. Hi, how are you? We met back there. Solid conversational presentation style. The only thing I want you to think about is clear beginning, middle, and end. It just kind of ended abruptly. So just as we're scripting, think about those things. Okay, recovery package. Where's Jack at? Where are you? Stellar on-camera presentation. I think Laura and I both had a moment when you were on camera. Really, really solid.
What do you want to do?
Yeah. That was our bet. Okay. Only a couple quick notes. Don't turn down your nat sound totally in your B-roll, right? We want to hear a little bit of that in the background. And you had a good character with the guy in the blue. I think his name was Brandon or something. Yeah. I would have structured the whole piece around him. I would have started with him and bookended the whole thing. Where's Amelia on the billionaire pack? Super, super newsworthy, hard news package about money and politics. Thought that was awesome. I'd love to talk one-on-one later about conversational writing, so just come find me. But it was good. This is another one I just love to go line by line on the script. It was so much of a nice sandbox to work with. Where's Megan on the homelessness? Hi, how are you? I love your hair. Same note on conversational writing. We can go line by line. Really good interview framing. Honestly, in terms of video quality, it was one of the better pieces we saw tonight. And last but not least, then I'm going to walk outside and get your pizza while Laura talks. Food culture with Lindsay. You had some good surprises. You hit me with the TikTok thing in the middle. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And then the other thing I liked was not even interview framing, but B-roll framing, especially as you played with that spiral staircase. All right, I'm going to run. Laura's going to keep talking to you. We'll be back in a sec.
Okay, so I think Stephen hit most of the individual packages, so I'll give you an overview. But I do want to say great job to the anchors. There were, where's your co-anchor? Where'd she go? There you are, over there. That you guys did a nice job of showing some chemistry together and having some crosstalk. You seemed very relaxed and able to relate to it. I hope you guys are friends because you seemed like it up there. So, and that's something that people want to see when they're watching TV. They want to see that the dynamic between the anchors and the reporters and the weather person or whatever you got out there. So, good job with that. And I know there were some parts where there was some gym video. It was a player or somebody on a basketball court. Maybe the audio wasn't quite right or something. So I know Sonia told y'all to keep talking, and I thought that y'all did a nice job handling that. And how about my girl Sonia? She was producing and made a cameo appearance in there. So that was great. Really good job to you on that. Some overall themes. I want to compliment you all on your technical skills. So sometimes we see, particularly early in the semester, that framing is off, or focus is off, or you don't have things mic'd properly. But you guys are doing a really great job with that skill, and that's a real foundational thing. You have to build upon that. You got to be able to do the basics to really get to the storytelling or developing the characters. But really well done. There were a couple of blips here and there. Just try to tighten those up if you had an off-camera shot or something. But Dr. Duck, you're doing a great job of teaching them that stuff. So yeah. So I saw some really good skills with that. I know Stephen touched on the graphics. I just want to double back on that. There were some really good uses of graphics in your packages. The ones where we had the big numbers. So graphics should always complement what you're saying. They should not distract, because there were a couple of instances in which I was trying to make sense of whatever the graphic was on the screen, and then I lost track of the story because I couldn't follow both. So make them really clear. Like where we saw some like big bold numbers in some of your packages. I had Jack. Where's Jack? Where's Jack? Where's Jack? Jack. You had both an unclear and a clear graphic in your package. You had one that confused me, and then the next one was like, oh, that's the one. We should have used that. So you had some good stuff going in there. But I kind of saw that across the board. So just kind of being choosy about how you use those, and then just conversational writing. This is something that for as long as you are in journalism or broadcasting or whatever you choose to do, if it's in this medium, whether it's on the vertical videos, you're trying to relate to people, I can't stress enough the importance of writing like you talk and being conversational. It's funny because I heard the word proposed. I should have counted in this newscast. Let's try to vary. So how often do you really say, hey, Mom, I proposed to my teacher that we have class at 5. You say that's not how you talk. So let's try to get rid of that word. If it makes you feel any better, I remember a story I wrote in this class in which I used the words a proposed toll road, and it still bothers me to this day that I wrote like that. So I would just focus on that. Say it to your friend, your partner, and just kind of talk it out. Of how would you tell that story in a more relatable way is a good way to go. But I thought you all did a tremendous job. The teamwork is evident. I'm so excited to see so many of you in this classroom and interested in doing this work. I know some of you probably have aspirations beyond broadcast journalism, and that's great, but it's so great to see so many of you taking an interest in this field and doing the work that you're doing, and for a first show that was really outstanding. So I can't wait to see what you guys will be doing by the end of the semester.
How does this sound as a next step? Would somebody, TA or someone, go grab a wad of like paper towels and bring those in, and then, oh, perfect, oh, even better. Even better, amazing. Okay, so they'll go get those. And then why don't we do this? Well, they're grabbing those. Why don't we do like 1 or 2 quick questions, and then let's eat. We'll stay around here for another few minutes, take some more questions, and then once we're off the feed, we can chat with you one-on-one. That sound good? Okay, cool. Well, they're getting that. Who wants to lead us off with questions? And it can be about anything. My favorite one to ask is, what's something you feel like you haven't gotten a straight answer to yet from a professor? Go ahead. Or from guest speakers. We will answer anything.
What is like the work-life balance like at your, I guess specifically in the Macon station? Like, what are the shifts for reporters and producers?
I think I can speak for my newsroom. We really try to prioritize that. One, this work is hard. It takes a lot out of you. You guys are going out and you're talking to members of the community. Some people want to talk to you. Some people don't. They're shutting a door in your face, or they're welcoming in. It can be extremely rewarding, but it's hard work because you're out engaging with the public a lot. The demands are tight. There's definitely a heavy stress component in the job. And I think that you have to know when you go into it that it is not regular hours. You are not going to work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So if you have that in your head, then erase it real quick. So you've got to be willing to do it, to work the weekend shift, to work the night shift, to work the mornings. I think we do try to be, most paid time off PTO plans are very generous with Tegna and our company so that we're able to provide that balance. Many of you would be aware of the snow that we had here in Georgia. In Macon, we happen to have 3 weekends of it. Not weekdays, weekends. So it was really crazy, in which we had to ask our staff to work a lot of extra shifts in order to serve our audience. And they all showed up and they all did it, but ooh, they were tired. So we made sure to ask them, hey, what would you prefer? Do you want to get paid a little extra to do this? Do you want to earn the overtime? Would you prefer that in your paycheck, or would you like some time off? And so trying to give that balance and knowing that, hey, we'll get to the other side of this, there's going to be a reward, whether it's in your pocket or whether it's some time off. So I think that you have to take care of yourself. So I was talking to Sydney just the other day about whatever job that you do need to find a circle outside of your work environment. So whether you're like sports or church or whatever it is, to find an outlet outside of your workplace to besides the people that you work with. Because if you just hang out with your broadcast friends all the time, that's all you'll talk about. Same thing. So.
That is the best advice I could possibly imagine. Want to hit one more? Go for it. Yay.
As recruiters in this field and as people, majority of this class about to enter and try to get hired, whether it's like on-camera presence or technicalities or packages, what are the biggest things y'all looking for in new hires?
Yeah. I can start with that. I mean, more so than anything, and this might surprise you, we're looking for soft skills more than hard skills. You know, Laura has experience in her rooms and a lot of our entry-level markets of training people on all the technical stuff, right? She can make you a better shooter. She can make you a better storyteller. But some of those intangibles, those soft skills, are the things that you kind of either have or you don't. The 3 core ones that Tegna looks for are self-awareness, critical thinking, and empathy. Why? Empathy. You got to be able to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. Every single day we cover a story about someone who's nothing like us, right? You know, we might tell a story about a pilot. Well, most of us aren't pilots, right? Like every single day it's walking a mile in someone else's shoes. Critical thinking, you have to question everything. Everything. You can't take anything anyone says at face value, right? Our job is to be curious. And then lastly, that really first one is the one I think the two of us really care about maybe more than anything, is self-awareness. I had a boss who told me one time, you know, when you get a new job, what do you get? You get 3 things. You get an ID badge, you get a laptop, and you get 6 square feet of space. It's how you take up that space that impacts everybody around you. We're looking for people who take up space well. From a technical standpoint and whatnot, yeah, Laura needs to know that you can shoot video pretty well. Like, yeah, we need generally white balanced video and some of the basics, so she's got a baseline to work with because she doesn't have that much time in her day. But the other thing is decent writing, conversational writing more so than anything that she touched on earlier. And from a camera perspective, you know, every once in a while we'll meet someone who does a really stellar job like you did earlier in terms of that poker stand-up, right? Where it's a good mix of, there's a prop, but it's also just a good stand-up. But if I was picking between trying to do a really, really creative stand-up or just really honing my craft in terms of broadcast performance, I would focus on the broadcast performance. I want you to be calm, cool, collected, conversational, all those things, and we can work with you on there and getting creative at your first job. One more, and then we'll keep going with pizza and keep going. Hit us.
So a lot of our beats here in the class were actually made from filling in the gaps of what local papers didn't have. I'm curious kind of what beats are y'all looking for? Where areas you're looking to fill, where areas you think need more help?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the station. So I'll kind of turn it to Laura in terms of like in her room, maybe how she divides the responsibilities of her reporters.
So I do it a certain way because I tend to bring in people that are coming out of school like yourself, or you know, in their first role, and you need a lot of experience with everything. I don't want to pigeonhole you into I'm going to do tech stories every day, because I want you to be well-rounded to get to that next place. So the way that I do it is assigned geographically, so that you're going to be assigned to one area or one county, and then you'll have a variety of stories to pick from. So you end up doing the breaking news, you end up doing the crime, you do the education, you do the tech, you do the investigation. You get an opportunity to do all getting to know the people and really investing in them, because that's where your stories are going to come from, is going back to that community every day. So they see you show up day after day after day after day, they're going to learn to trust you, and then you're going to get those deeper stories beside the ones at first that are just coming from a press release or something that, off a police blotter or something like that. So that's how we do it, but I think, and then if you want to specialize, then you have the opportunity to do that, like as you move up further. So maybe you really have an interest, you really love doing politics, so maybe that's what you want to do at your next shop, and can kind of look for roles that would allow you to specialize a little bit more, but you have those foundational skills.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. So just quick on Tegna. So we own 64 news brands across the U.S. in 51 different markets. We generally skew into some large markets like Atlanta, D.C., Dallas, et cetera. But we also have a ton of entry-level markets. One of the best ones in the country is right here in Macon. We will be at the Career Fair tomorrow. We're really proud to sponsor your Career Fair. We have a great ongoing partnership with UGA. We'll also be over at the Echo tomorrow briefly, in this room, I guess. So come stop by and talk to us. In terms of internships, I've filled my internship slots for this summer, but we do have jobs. So we'd love to talk with some of you about jobs or just get to know you better. I figure right now is probably a good time to maybe wrap the stream. We will pass out, or we'll put pizza over there. We all come get it. Maybe that takes 3 or 4 minutes, and then Laura and I will sit right back down here and keep answering questions and chat about anything with you just off stream if that works for you. Awesome. Thanks so much for having us.